Why is it that two people with the same income can end up in completely different financial situations? Why does one retire early while another lives paycheck to paycheck and may never retire? The answer isn't just the money, it's the mindset. Greetings and good morning. Welcome. So, today we're going to explore the psychology of money. Many of you may turn off this topic because it can affect the way you perceive yourself and you perceive money. Psychology is not something most people want to hang around and hear about. They think it's going to be telling them where they're wrong in life, or how they're bad, or how their parents are to blame. While some of that is true, it's not everything. Building a wealth mindset can change your life more than really any paycheck ever could. So first, let's start off with, what is the psychology of money? Psychology of money just refers to the way we think, feel, and behave with money. Our emotional, psychological attachment to or revulsion of money isn't just about spreadsheets, beliefs, habits, emotions. When you hold money, how does it make you feel? Take note of that. Understand that. And this is what the psychology is going to be about as we go along here. All this psychology influences how you spend, save, invest, manage all your financial stress, your investments. It's all revolved around the psychology that you have developed over time. Everyone at some point probably has some sort of a money story, if you will. Something in childhood or culture, maybe even a trauma. Could be a success, even a fear of money. So before you ever touch your wallet, touch your mindset. Your mindset has already made the decisions of if, when, how you're going to spend that money. Touch your mindset. Understand how this purchase, whatever it may be, how it psychologically is affecting you. So, money stories. Your past shapes your present. We all know this. Whether we accept it is different, but we all know it. So ask yourself, what money story do you have? What would you hear about money growing up? Common things you may have heard are, money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. Internal narratives subconsciously drive our behaviors. So, what beliefs do you have? Are they limiting beliefs? Or are they beliefs of freedom, of understanding what money really is? But if you think these might be holding you back, now's the time to reflect. How can you change your mindset? Odds are your beliefs were formed, downloaded, created during your childhood. Your parents, friends, relatives, what you heard, what you read. It affects you still to this day. But it's not too late to change. Despite the old adage, I think you can teach an old dog new tricks. It just takes time, patience, and consistency. So, let's work on an upgrade. So, first thing, scarcity mindset versus an abundance mindset. What's that mean? So, scarcity, especially if you come from a poor family, lower middle class, there was always a fear of running out of food, running out of good clothes. Probably led to hoarding. Definitely, as most Americans, underinvesting. Staying stuck in a money mindset of fear, believing there's never enough to go around. And from your childhood, that may be a reality. But changing your mindset can change how you look at things, even in those tough situations. So, abundance mindset. Believe in growth, believe in opportunities, learning, sowing the seeds that can lead to something greater. Learning to take calculated risks, investing in yourself and your future, paying yourself to learn, fast forwarding your education by buying courses, buying books, learning, downloading thousands of years of knowledge through education. So, as a real world comparison, you've probably said, I can't afford that. Probably true. Abundance mindset says, how can I afford that wisely? What can I do with my finances wisely to allow me to afford that? Now, in some cases, like it or not, it may mean picking up an extra job, or seeing if you can't work some overtime in your current job, cutting back on other costs, your streaming services, not going out to eat. And it may take months, it may take a year or longer to save for what you want, but creating that mindset is not, I can't afford it, to what can I do to afford it wisely? So your mindset doesn't just reflect your reality. Your mindset creates it. So emotional triggers. What emotional triggers do you have? What money behaviors do you have? What emotions drive impulsive spending or financial paralysis? When you're in stress, do you do what's called retail therapy, which is kind of a self-fulfilling loop? You have an issue with your finances, you have an issue in life, you go out and spend money on frivolities. You get that short-term enjoyment. But in the end, it makes you feel worse. Because now you don't have money for things you really should have money for. Or maybe it's kind of the other side. You have such a fear, crippling fear, that you hoard it and you avoid investing. As I've talked about or alluded to in previous videos, savings is great when it's directed, when it's targeted savings. But savings itself, you're losing money just by putting it in a bank and saving it. Investing it, wise investing, is the best way to grow your money. And another mindset is guilt. And how do you compensate for that? Overgiving, giving too much of your money, and undersaving. There's a balance. You need to save money, 100%. But undersaving is even worse. You need that emergency savings, targeted savings for things you and your family need later on. So, how do you want to manage the emotional side? For small to medium purchases, wait 24 hours, maybe even a week. And I'm not talking about groceries. I'm talking about maybe a new watch or a new phone. Wait a week. Wait 24 hours at least. Give yourself time to think about it. Go over, as we talked about, wisely. How can you afford it wisely? For larger purchases, buying a new car, especially buying a new house, pause 30 days. Have your monthly meeting with yourself, your spouse, your family. Talk about this major purchase, how it will affect you. But also talk about how we can, as a group, afford it wisely. What can you do to afford it wisely? Keep a small notebook with you, little, small pocket notebook. And when you get some sort of a trigger for your money, jot it down. Review it. What in that moment triggered you for your finances? What money trigger did you have? Did you have a fear or a guilt or a stress? Write it down. Analyze where it comes from. As we've talked about in previous videos, about your budget. It's always good to have a budget, even if it's a very superficial one. But include fun, include joy, include rest, relaxation. Include that in your budget. You don't have to be an automaton. Saving money should be included in your budget, but fun, enjoyment. Maybe it's over planning of your life, but it will reduce stress as well. Money's a tool. It's not just logical. It's emotional, whether we realize it or not. So learn to check in with your feelings, not just looking at your balance statement. Check in with yourself. So mindset, your wealth mindset, as you're developing it. What habits do financially successful, financially empowered people, what do they do? Wealthy mindset isn't just thinking rich thoughts. I'm going to win the lottery, or I'm going to get a new job or a raise. It's built on consistent actions. As alluded to many times before, delayed gratification. Invest now. Save now, so you can enjoy it later. Compound interest over time. If you're willing to delay that gratification, will make your financial burden less, the financial stress less. What else? Financial literacy. Now, this is a life lesson as much as it is a financial lesson. Learn continuously. Always be learning. And that's one reason I started this video series, is stuff that I have learned throughout my life and stuff that I'm continuing to learn. Books I'm continuing to read. Videos I'm watching. YouTubers I'm following. Paying attention to different things. Upgrading my own financial knowledge. I'm hoping to share that through this video series. Also, another aspect for the wealth mindset, strategic risk taking. Not gambling, not on going to Vegas. That's a terrible investment. So, not gambling, but investing, finding your rate of return. What's the best rate of return you can find? What stock, ETF, crypto asset? What even education? Education, it does have a rate of return. In other aspects, gratitude, generosity. There is a certain cyclical nature to money. Wealth flows when it circulates. Giving feels good. But understanding is more than that. It's like water, I would say. Sharing, caring for each other. When you are prosperous, when you are having a good time, help those of lesser. This is actually a wealth mindset. May not seem like it, but it is. And kind of the final mindset is seeing failure as a feedback. Again, this is as much life advice as it is financial advice. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. I was watching or reading somewhere that the faster you fail, the more times you fail, the faster you learn. How many times can you fail per hour? Differently. You'll learn from that. There's a lot to learn from failure. Don't be afraid to fail. I may have mentioned this before. If not, I think I did have another video about that. But don't be afraid to fail. Seek failure. I know that's contradictory to anything you're ever going to hear, probably from anyone else. But seek failure. You'll learn so much more from failure, from doing something and failing at it, than you will even from a book. Now, I'm not saying don't read, don't educate yourself, but understand that doing something and failing at it will teach you so much more. The concentration of knowledge in a failure is so massive if you can squeeze it out. So with the mindset, I mean, we've heard the stories of a janitor who, when they passed away, they were a multimillionaire. And we've all heard of entrepreneurs who failed at multiple businesses, and yet they're multimillionaires, billionaires, because they took those failures and squeezed every bit of knowledge out of it and learned at a faster rate than the rest of us. So you don't need to have $1 million in income to have the mindset. You can start now. Reprogram your beliefs. Create a new financial psychology, a new financial identity. Throw in different mantras. I deserve financial freedom. Money is a tool. I'm learning to manage money with wisdom and confidence. So if you find that psychology to be really strong and fearful, start with something simple. Yes, it's silly. I know. But words matter. Add these words to a daily affirmation. Money is a tool. Money is my tool. Money is a tool for my financial freedom. I will learn to manage money with wisdom and confidence. I seek to always be learning. Visualize yourself. Visualize yourself a year from now and how you have successfully learned and put into practice these methods and how they have led to great success. Track your wins. Track your progress. Track your failures. But as I will probably tell you many times in many videos, educate yourself. Read. Find books on money, finances. There's a book called The Psychology of Money. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich. There's hundreds, thousands of books out there about this. Figure out what you want to have for a different financial future. But first, you must believe you are worthy of one. Convince yourself you are worthy. Changing your mindset about money it will be profitable over time. It costs nothing to change your mindset, but could pay extreme dividends over your lifetime. So hopefully this video sparked something in you. And if it did, don't let it fade. Feed it. Focus on it. Start changing one belief, one habit, one action today. Let me know in the comments what you took away from this video, what you want to try to put into practice, what you may already be putting into practice, maybe something you have learned previously about your own psychology, and a practical and powerful step that you want to share with others. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.